What's up, people? Should freaking work this time. God damn it. Chat. Just hanging out in my house Saturday morning. Had a problem with the first stream, so just got to send the link out to people real quick. Where you at? What's going on? We got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. You just hang tight. You see how I've kind of done this little mise en scène? Much more appealing than my ugly upstairs room, which, by the way, is, you're never going to see it again because we're moving. That's one of the agenda items for today. I'll tell you all about it. Second. So today we're going to be experimenting with a call-in number. I have to figure out a way to put it down to give it to you. What the freak? Look at that. It's kind of cool. I kind of like this. We're going with this. None. All right, I'm gonna type. Can I type in the number? Oh shit! No, I don't know how to give you the number. I could write it down somewhere. It's not morning. Yeah, it's morning for me, bitch. It's Saturday. Saturday for me, morning goes up to 4 o'clock. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. All right. This is spooky. I like it. Right. Okay. Real quick, I'm just gonna tweet out the. Just gotta tweet out the link, and then we will resume. How are you all doing today? Someone just called in actually, but I was still setting up the stream. So here's the number. The fuck, that's not gonna work. Live streaming is hard. 1 sec, I'll give it to you in a minute. This is ridiculous. I need a fucking assistant. Stop this bitch. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's not a bad idea. I could write it on my chest, but then I have to write it backwards. I'm not that smart. I'm not like, my brain isn't good enough to do that. I could do it, but it would take me way too long, and it would not be fun for you folks. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna read you the number, and then one of you can just type it into the chat. That's not ideal, but we'll do it. The number is 1, +1. It's a Chicago number. 872-228-2422. To kick things off, whoever called me a minute ago, you should call back now. I'll pick it up. Go back to normal. It's too distracting. Okay. Sick tats, thanks, bro. That's how I roll. Shit, sorry, this is hard. There we go. I'll probably be kicked off YT now for posting a number in a live stream. No, I'm giving it to you. I can't imagine it would be not allowed. Alright, someone call me. The number is 1. Okay, yeah, it's in the chat. +1 872 228 2422. The call-in show begins. Alright, this is going to be fun. Is it premium rates? Yeah, well, if there's enough interest, if people do this, I'll get like a toll-free number, but I'll have to buy that. But I'll do it if there's interest, if enough people do it. But I did get a Chicago number because I know most of you are in the U.S., so. I'm looking at my computer right now and you can't even tell. This is a good setup. I can use this to kind of like look up answers to questions people ask me. Seem way smarter than I am. Alright, someone call me. Let's do this. In a sec, I'll start going over the agenda items and you can call me at your convenience. Live streams always quitter? The hell does that mean? Quieter? Is it too soft? Can you hear me okay? All right. Good. So, everybody, welcome to my world. See my mise en scène? I'm gonna build a much more pleasing aesthetic experience for the live stream in commemoration of my crossing the 1,000 follower, subscriber, whatever threshold. You know what, folks? I feel like I'm entering a fundamentally new phase of my life, and I think the live stream has played a non-trivial role in this. What do I mean by that? What phase am I entering? Well, I noticed that recently I've become much more disagreeable, and in a kind of uncontrollable way, even more so than I would like, really. I've become disagreeable to a degree that I'm even somewhat uncomfortable with. For instance, a really good anecdote to describe or to exemplify what I'm talking about. This morning, I'm chilling here on the couch, like I always do. Saturday morning, in my underwear, whatever. And it's like, you know, a mailman knocks on the door. And that's a reasonable thing. You know, it's Saturday, it's not Sunday. Mail people, they come on Saturdays. I can't blame them for that. But I'm sitting here in my underwear, and, you know, I just was irritated that the mailman was here. It was like a very kind of grandpa, old grumpy grandpa kind of attitude. So I'm sitting here reading in my underwear, and the mailman knocks, and I kind of like mutter to myself, like, oh, fucking fuck, okay. Because he had a package, so he couldn't just slip it through the door. And So I kind of mutter to myself, irritated. And I'm in my fucking underwear, so I have to go upstairs to receive this package. Because I'm not gonna, I mean, I guess if I was really disagreeable, like a really grumpy grandpa, I could just go to the door in my underwear, completely shameless and uncaring, and grumpy and irritable. But I'm not that bad. I still have some decency. I still have some patience and tact. So I have the decency to go upstairs, at least put on some shorts. So I go upstairs to put on some shorts, and while I'm up there, he knocks again, this time much harder, as if he's impatient. And I just instinctively, this is very out of character for me, I'm never usually like this, I just instinctively said, I was like, the window was open so he could hear me, it's a small place. He knocked again real hard while I'm finding my fucking shorts to put on, and instinctively, without even thinking about it, and quite out of character for me, I was like, hold your fucking horses! I was like, wow, I never say things like that. I've never really been that type of person. And I think this sort of thing has been happening a little bit more lately. That was a kind of extreme example, but I've noticed over the past few weeks that my fuse is a little bit shorter than it used to be. I don't have time for people's bullshit! And I think one of the reasons is because of this live stream. I now have this kind of environment, which I've been doing fairly often, where I can just, it's a one-way transmission. I mean, you folks can kind of talk in the chat, and I like that and appreciate that. And you can call in. By the way, if you want to call in, anyone, call in anytime. +1 872 228 2422. I feel like I'm a QVC representative selling you a fucking toaster. The number's in the chat. Yeah, it's in the chat. If you need to check, scroll up in the chat. I'll accept the call live. It's gonna be fun. Where was I? Yeah, I don't have to take bullshit from anyone! Because if people don't like who I am, I just go on the live stream. And people will listen to me on the live stream. So, I think that's why I've become more disagreeable. Should you go to Catholic Mass tomorrow, Alice? Well, that's for you to decide. I think if you're interested in it, if you're even curious about it, I think, generally you should go. But if you're not into it, I wouldn't tell you to go. You can't force things. It would be a vibe. Catholic Mass is definitely strong vibes. I think you're responding to the background terrible psychic media environment in the UK. It might be that, except that I don't watch any of the media. I don't pay attention to any of that shit. Again, all I do is read and write stuff and then do the live streams. Alice, should you dress to integrate or go full edge? You know what? I think I personally subscribe to the view that one should wear one's Sunday best. This kind of, I guess, more traditional idea that you do owe it to yourself and to the church and to God to clean up, look prim and proper, and wear nice clothes to Mass, I think. But that's just me. I think, most churches are, I think, unfortunately, but they are truly more liberal nowadays, and lots of people show up to Mass wearing all different kinds of things. So whatever you want, you do you, Alice. We have a call. This is awesome. Here we go. Let me put it on speakerphone so everyone can hear. Hello. Hello. How you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm good. Can everyone in the public chat hear that? Tell me if it's too soft. I'll try to turn it up, but I'm putting it near the microphone. What's going on? What's your name? If you feel like saying it, you can say any name.
My name is Antoine Finch.
Oh, Antoine, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? This is cool. Thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it. You're the first ever call-in, so oh, people say they can't hear it. Let me get it aligned on the mic. Let me see if I can turn it up a bit. We'll get this figured out. All right, let's try that. Go ahead, Antoine. Talk to me.
Yeah, you definitely do seem more disagreeable though, but not in like a bad way. You just seem more capable of standing up for yourself, which is, I think that's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Could people hear that? Could you hear what Antoine said? Sorry if it's soft. I'll work on it. But if you could at least minimally hear it, tell me in the chat if you can't. What are you up to, Antoine?
Not much. I just woke up. I'm gonna go to a festival in about an hour, and that's gonna be my day for the most part. It's gonna take a long time.
Oh wait, I got an idea. Maybe I can maybe I got so much shit going on. Hang with me and bear with me, Antoine. You're kind of my guinea pig.
Okay.
What I might try to do, okay, they can hear you minimally, but what I could try to do is run this through my Wi-Fi speaker. This will be dope if it works. It probably won't, because technology never fucking works. But let's see. One sec. Oh yeah, I think we're getting there. Am I wearing makeup? No, I'm not wearing makeup. What on earth would give you that impression? Come on. The Gadget Show. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Jambox is in pairing mode, waiting for device to connect.
Yes. All right. For once, technology did not fail me. Antoine, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're boosting the volume. All right. Talk to me some more, Antoine.
But yeah, you don't seem like problematically disagreeable, like maybe Jordan Peterson is or something most of the time, where he's just like borderline argumentative.
Okay,
But,
so you're saying I'm not an asshole. I'm not becoming an asshole quite yet.
No, not quite yet. You could be a little bit more disagreeable. I think you're confident enough. You're, you tend to know your shit to a high enough degree to not just like compromise all the time. Not saying that you do that, but it seems like you're doing it less than you did at the start.
All right, excellent. By the way, folks, can you hear Antoine better now? I hooked up the speaker. You should be able to. That should have been louder. Can someone confirm that was louder? I'll work on it better. I'll keep improving this iteratively, but I hope that works for now. Yes. All right. Yes, the JMO confirms. The JMO confirms. We officially have a live in-calling show, and you can hear it loud and clear. 100%, baby. We're doing this. All right. Well, that's really good to hear from you, Antoine, that I'm not yet, like, full-on, irritated, grumpy asshole all the time. But you have noted that I'm a little bit more disagreeable. Yeah, I think I've noted it too. I mean, part of me wants to be even a little. I kind of want to be even more of an asshole, but I want to be able to turn it on and off in conscious mode. You know. Hey Nick, is this still going on for a little while? Yeah, this is going on for a little while. I got nothing else to do today. I got coffee in one hand. I got energy drink in another hand. By the way, folks, do you remember the first IRL live stream I ever did? Where I went to Aldi with the wig on. If you remember, I got energy drinks there in an unplanned, improvised fashion. I wasn't even really thinking about it, and these are the ones. So, continuity, my friends. Continuity. All right, Antoine, anything else on your mind you want to talk, or was that all you wanted to share for the moment?
Antoine? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't planning on talking to you 5 minutes before I called because I don't have like a giant like repertoire of things to just dish out.
Yeah, no, it's cool. That's why I was asking. I wasn't expecting anything from you. Thank you for being my guinea pig and for having patience. Oh, someone's asking me about the Avital Ronell case, so I'd love to talk about that. It's pretty hilarious. All right, Antoine, I'll let you go, man, and that way someone else can call in if they want to. Thanks for that. I appreciate your comments.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, see you, dude. Later.
Yeah.
Dude, this is awesome. I love this. The call-in function is going to be a game changer, I think. This is dope. All right. So, if anyone else wants to call in anytime. Let's talk a little bit about the Avital Ronell case. It's pretty funny, I think. What are my thoughts? Well, first of all, I'll give everyone a rundown about what happened, a quick TLDR, in case anyone doesn't know what we're talking about. So, I'm trying to think the easiest way to summarize it. Basically, I would say, so Avital Ronell is a philosophy professor. She's fairly well known, I would say, in kind of continental theory circles, continental philosophy circles. And, you know, she's kind of buddies with Judith Butler and Zizek and people like that. And what happened was that she basically she's well known for being, you know, a little crazy and, let's say, how should I say, commanding with respect to her graduate students. To be fair, I should also give the disclaimer that I'm not an expert on this case. I don't know her. I don't know all the details. And I'm going to keep my comments in a balanced, you know, and cautious way to reflect that. But I'll just give you the TLDR as I know it, as I see it. She basically was accused by a graduate student of harassing her and kind of abusing him. Sorry. It's a gay man who's the graduate student bringing these charges against her. I believe it was a Title IX case. And, you know, she's kind of queer, he's gay, and some of the people in defense of this were saying that it's like, you know, it's just queer culture. That it's not, you know, she wasn't, you know, abusing him or exploiting him or sexually harassing him or whatever. But that this is just how queer people kind of play together. So that was kind of the defense. But the accusation, the larger charges, he basically says that, you know, I forget. I wasn't expecting this question, so I'm not prepared for it exactly. I forget exactly what the charges were. Someone can type it in if they want. But, you know, it was something on the spectrum around, you know, harassment, abuse, exploitation. And I'm not sure, I don't think it was alleged rape, was it? I forget the details. But basically, yeah, she would have him, the thing that I found most interested in my perusal of the case was that, according to his allegations, she would basically use the prospect of a future job as the carrot that would get, you know, him to do, like, you know, romantic and sexual acts basically for her, is what it seemed like to me. And, you know, he was basically bringing this charge to say, hey, wait a second, that's like not really cool, and that shouldn't be allowed, and I don't think it is allowed. So, yeah, it's a very interesting case. That's the TLDR, basically. Gay male grad student of Avital Ronell alleges that she basically harassed and abused and exploited him sexually as the supervisor. You know, that's important to note that she was the supervisor of this graduate student. The other kind of juicy detail of this that makes it really fascinating is the aftermath. No, I did not say sexual abuse is pretty funny. Determinate negation. You're always negging me. It's okay though. You keep trying. Basically, Judith Butler and a bunch of other, you know, continental philosophy luminaries, they signed a letter in the immediate aftermath saying that, you know, Avital Ronell basically, you know, should not be judged too harshly for this. There was a letter of support for her that they sent privately to the university that she works for, and they didn't think it would go public. It wasn't intended to go public, and then it was leaked that all these people like Judith Butler and Zizek were basically, defending the someone who's accused of sexual abuse. And you're not that's sort of like plank number one in kind of lefty progressive continental theory circles, that you always believe the accuser, and to even doubt someone who's leveling a serious allegation of sexual abuse, to even doubt that is politically problematic to a lot of people who follow someone like Judith Butler. And so this was a really, really juicy and quite surprising turn of events that I think is actually really revealing. My wife, actually, who follows this stuff way more closely than I do, she's kind of like more involved and pays more attention to these sorts of worlds than I do. She had some really good takes. I actually asked her to do a live stream where she talks about this, because she knows more about it than I do, and she has some good takes. But from what she was saying and from what I was interpreting, I think that this is the Avital Ronell case is actually like a kind of interesting little turning point. Not a massive watershed, but a little bit of evidence that of how things are kind of shifting in the larger culture. Because the kind of Tumblr feminist, like SJW kind of internet mass, at least according to my wife, is generally now kind of turning against Judith Butler and people like Judith Butler. So now the larger kind of feminist online masses are throwing people like Judith Butler under the bus right now because she is defending Avital Ronell. So that's kind of interesting, because I wouldn't have necessarily predicted that. Yeah, that's all. So that's a kind of surprising little and interesting and revealing little data point, I think, that there's a certain kind of like fracturing going on right now. Well, this is something we talk about all the time on this live stream, right? There's like fracturing going on all over the place. And this is just another kind of interesting example where I think even in the kind of lefty progressive circles, there is the large online mobs are not as aligned with some of the kind of like thought leaders that you might have imagined. Like a couple years ago, I would have sort of imagined that. I would have imagined maybe the opposite. So all right. Maybe if I don't know if I have any other takes on that. Other than I think it's very interesting. I think it's very revealing. I guess from what I've read, I don't know. I don't know what I think about the case, because it's easy to kind of get emotionally pulled into the kind of like anti-SJW line and to think like, oh, this is awesome, this is hilarious that, like kind of over the top feminist like SJW culture is getting, a taste of its own medicine. I think that's like the easy way to interpret this if you, like me, are not a big fan of, but if you are a big fan of, like, if you're a free speech absolutist, basically, it's really easy to kind of see this stuff through a kind of counter identity politics lens in which, like, identity politics people are just kind of getting a taste of their own medicine. But I don't, I would urge against that personally. Like, I don't see it that way. I think that generally, like, the Title IX is quite a horrible thing, and however whoever might happen to be, whichever professor might happen to be the victim at any particular point in time. I think like litigation culture, especially around just like speech and academic freedom, is just generally a bad thing. Generally, that's kind of how I lean. That's my take. And so I'm not I just see this as another example of that. I mean, it sounds like Avital Ronell is kind of crazy and is somewhat exploitative and abusive. But like I said, I didn't actually read too much into it, so I'm not an expert on it at all. But that was just my impression. That there is she's definitely doing some fucked up behavior, and yeah, probably that shouldn't be allowed. But I don't know the facts of the case that well, so I can't really judge too much, And I don't really buy the idea that you have to have some sort of like pre-established sympathy or antipathy with the victim or the accuser. Like, I don't think there's any kind of political imperative to have any, pre-established sympathy one way or the other. So that's just what the lay of the land looks like to me, and I would gladly change my opinion if I learned more about it. There's one other thing that I thought was interesting. The one thing that I said was, it's interesting that the Tumblr feminist masses are now kind of shitting on Judith Butler. So that's kind of interesting. And my wife and I we were talking about this the other day, and we kind of had this hypothesis that it might be because academic job prospects are becoming so bad that this might be one of the underlying factors in this kind of cultural conflict right now. In other words, there was once a time where like Tumblr feminists could kind of hope or imagine or dream that their Tumblr like writing and whatever their like younger kind of like attitudes and perspectives that they cultivate in this format could have some consistency and with like academia and somehow even constitute a kind of transition upwards into academia. In other words, for some time it kind of felt to a lot of people like, being a good feminist and, developing that language and developing that identity and building an online kind of following around it could actually become, convertible cultural capital that you could do things like do well in academia with or get into grad school with. And there are actually some cases like I won't talk about them because I don't want to make this like I'm calling people out by name, at least not on this topic. But there are people who basically kind of like started out developing their intellectual social identity on places like Tumblr and blogging and stuff like that in a kind of like SJW feminist kind of language and perspective, and kind of built that up and then kind of almost use that as like practice or portfolio for going into grad schools and then pursuing like academic careers. I don't, I couldn't tell you details. I don't know, but my sense is that's been like there's been a kind of consistency there, or at least an imagined kind of social cultural capital pathway there. And I think what's kind of going on now is that the academic prospects are so bad, and people are starting to realize, like, people like Judith Butler and Avital Ronell, they are elites, like they have very, very well paid, extremely privileged academic posts that are just not being created anymore. That kind of job is not available anymore. So like, no matter how good at like feminism you are, you're not going to get the status and privileges and income of a Judith Butler or Avital Ronell. It's just not available anymore. Those spaces aren't opening up. And I think that people are kind of realizing that in a way that they weren't realizing it perhaps like a few years ago. At least that's one of the hypotheses that my wife and I kind of were talking about the other night. And I think what's happening now is that the online masses, the SJW feminist masses I'm talking about, they are, I think, starting to fragment and turn against people like Avital Ronell and Judith Butler. So I think there's going to be some interesting dynamics there. That's I guess one of my more interesting takes, and I credit my wife also because she actually kind of told me a lot about this case that I didn't necessarily know about. I wasn't following it too closely. What else? But I think this does reflect really badly on someone like Judith Butler, to be honest. I think the critiques of Judith Butler, to her, in her defense, probably receives an undue amount of kind of scapegoating. She kind of, her name, along with like Foucault maybe, kind of stands in for everything that's wrong with kind of lefty humanities culture. And that's probably to an unfair degree, I would imagine. I'm sure she's a perfectly, fine person, all things considered. But this case, I think it is kind of scandalous. I think specifically the issue with the letter that was sent in private to defend Avital Ronell and then retracted once it became public, that's really shady, I think. And I think that is a fairly significant little data point consistent with the idea that kind of left-wing academics are just instrumental shapeshifters. It really makes their politics look very snake-like. I mean, why would you immediately, without knowing the facts of the case, defend an academic who is being accused of rather serious, sexual abuse and exploitation charges by a grad student? Why would you immediately defend them in private when publicly most of them would subscribe to a viewpoint in which your sympathies should be with the accuser when you first hear about these types of accusations? But you're going to defend basically a crony, like a fellow elite, a co-elite in your kind of academic bubble. You're going to immediately come to her defense without knowing the facts of the case, despite serious charges. You're going to do that privately, kind of behind closed doors. And then when it gets leaked, you're going to immediately take it back just because it went public and because the public spotlight made you reconsider what you really believe and what you really don't believe and what it's appropriate to support and what it's not appropriate to support. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's a pretty revealing little data point about, I think, the underlying psychology and the real politics of these kinds of like elite left-wing professors. So, I mean, I have an open mind. I would consider other interpretations, but I do think that it's fairly, that to me is kind of the most interesting and scandalous kind of point about all of this. Not because the charges themselves are insignificant. I'm not downplaying that. But I'm saying, like, that's a well-known thing, like sexual abuse and exploitation. I'm not justifying it at all. It sounds like if the allegations are right, what she did was really bad. But that's like as a category, we know that type of thing. That's abusive professor abuses graduate student. In terms of what's new, in terms of what's going on under the hood of like the larger mechanics of the culture war, it's actually the aftermath and the weird private letter of support that was then retracted by people like Judith Butler. I think there's a lot of information to be gleaned there about what's going on in the larger kind of academic culture. All right. The other questions were, let's see. What's my take on Title IX? Yeah, it's basically, I'm not an expert, but it basically sets up this kind of like criminal litigation system specific to universities. And it basically invests universities and like strange bureaucratic boards with a lot of power to basically make judgments and affect, the rewards and punishments of students and academics in the university system. Laura Kipnis has a book out right now about it that is probably, I haven't read it yet, but it's on my list, and it's probably, if you want to know about Title IX, it's probably a good book to read. I think it's called Unwanted Advances. Let's see, what was the other question you were asking me? Again, people, if you want to call in, call me. +1 872-228-2422. The number is in the chat. Just scroll up. What I'm going to do for the next time is I need to make like a little image overlay so it'll kind of say the number down at the bottom. But if anyone wants to call in, I would love to hear from you. Someone called before, I think someone called before Antoine did. That person should call back. What's some interesting stuff that I've been working on, learning about lately? That's a good question. Well, I can tell you some things. First of all, I don't really hang out with people anymore at all. It kind of goes back to what I was saying before about how I've become more disagreeable than I even want to. I just have no need to hang out with people anymore. I have no interest in it anymore. I mean, periodically, like if I see someone who's a friend, an old friend, I'll be nice. But I don't really ask anyone to go out and hang out anymore, and I don't really, when people invite me to things, I kind of just say no thanks. So, just thought I'd share that. What else? I've been blogging a lot lately. You might have noticed. I made this new domain, and I've been thinking about a lot of things, I guess. But all the stuff that I've been thinking about has been in the blog post, so no need to really go over it too much. One thing that I've been thinking a lot about is more practical. I've been thinking a lot about like how to prioritize my projects. So I have, I'm very good at like generating ideas. I get a million ideas a minute, and I jot them down, and I have all these notes on all different types of ideas and thoughts and projects. The problem is always deciding what to do in what order. Trying to figure out what's most important, what's most worth doing, what's most necessary to do, what's most valuable in terms of like larger social or political significance, but also in terms of what I want to do, in terms of like what will actually, get me out of bed in the morning and excited to think and write and work or whatever. So I always struggle to figure out how to rank and plan my different competing goals, my intellectual projects, I mean, more specifically. So I've been thinking a lot about that, especially as the semester starts to near back around. Once I start teaching again, everything's going to get like way harder to manage all this different shit. So I have to I really want to have a plan about like, okay, how many live streams a week can I really realistically do consistently and well and enjoy it and do a good job, and also like want to do it. Like what's too many that I would burn out? What's the most that I could do while also doing teaching and stuff like that, versus like how many blog posts will I aim to write per week. That's what I'm thinking about more than anything right now. Right now I've been just doing live streaming, and I've been writing a bunch of blog posts. Like I said, I have all these notes on my hard drive. I have all the stuff to think about and write out that I'm interested in. So that's not a problem. I have a million ideas. It's more the larger meta question about which ideas should I work on and what should I do. So it's summer. I'm kind of, in a relaxed state of mind. I have kind of space and detachment to kind of think about these things. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out now. And what I'd like to do, what I'm currently thinking is, my goal is like in the next week or 2 or 3, my live streams are better than my written work. Well, to you maybe, which is cool, which is fine. I think like it's very temperamental. I think the people who like live streams are people who like live streams, and people who like reading and writing are people who like reading and writing, and they're probably not, there's not a perfect overlap at all there. What you see with like the new media environment is all of this fragmentation by temperament and by preferences. And so I think it's like, for me, it's not a matter of choosing which one I'm better at, or which one is more fun or more important. But it's like, as an intellectual in the 21st century, I think the goal is to like my commitment is on ideas, and my commitment is on seeking the truth, and the most radical way that I can do that. But all of these media are just different formats for translating it and converting it into externalized public manifestations. So I suspect that people who like live streams will prefer live streams, and people who like to read will prefer blog posts. But there is a kind of very deep fundamental consistency between among all of the things that I'm doing. So I'm not really too concerned about that. People will have their preferences. But what I would like to do, what I'm kind of trying to do right now, is ideally I would have like a schedule. Free though. So you like reading, you're just saying you don't like reading my shit. Well, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. That's cool. No, it's fine. My writing is probably not for everyone. That's to be expected. What I would like to try to do, I'm not trying to make you seem like a pleb. No, I'm sure you know how to read and read well. What I'm going to try to do basically is, ideally I would have a calendar, like a schedule. Like, okay, I'm going to do one live stream a week. I'm going to do one blog post a week. And then I'll be able to do that and also do my other teaching responsibilities and stuff like that. What's my take on the Baby Johnny nursery rhyme videos that have been getting viral? I'm sorry, but I live under a rock. I have no idea what that is or what you're talking about, unfortunately. By the way, congrats on actually just going ahead and posting physique. No, I'm not posting physique. This is just how I am in this moment. So, whatever. I sit on this couch on Saturdays and I chill and I read. Half naked. So, whatever. The only thing I did very, like, consciously was kind of, like, set up the camera to include some, you know, visuals that are appealing. At least more so than in the upstairs vomit room. Oh, Nick has a juicy question for me. All right, shoot. Call me in. Call in. It'd be better over the phone. It'll be more dramatic. Scroll up to see the number. The JMO posted it. My sitting posture is starting to hurt. I need to sit up. Oh. There we go. Oh, that hurts even more. Never mind. What's your take on that age of consent petition that all the continental philosophers signed? I don't know. I'm afraid that I'm not familiar with it. I think I heard about it, but I don't know nearly enough to speak on it. By the way, this is the real Nick Mullen. No offense, Nick Mullen, but I've never heard of Nick Mullen, so what do you mean you're the real one? Alice. Yeah, I think it doesn't let you send a link. I might have to change the settings on Nightbot. Also, I'm afraid I can't watch things in the stream right now because I'm doing this off of iOS, and I don't think it gives me that kind of control, unfortunately. So in other news, folks, I'm moving house. That was the other thing on the agenda I wanted to tell you about. Currently, I live in this small little flat. Okay, yeah, Alice, you can message it to me on FB and then I'll react on stream. That's fine. Cool. Also, I'll post the link for people as I do it. So, I'm moving house. I currently live in a small, tiny 2-bedroom flat. 2-bedroom is like kind of a reach because one of the rooms is like a shoebox. And it's not a bad place, but it's old. It's like, it used to be like a little fisherman's village. It was probably, it's in England. It was probably made in like fucking 1200s or some shit. And it's very, very small. And it's very kind of cramped. And the construction is just kind of shitty. And we've been here for 3 years. And it's been fun. It's a cute little place. And we've had a lot of love and warmth. And also a fair amount of emotional crisis that we've navigated. So it's been an interesting ride here. But you know what? Sometimes physical spaces that you live in, they just become really intertwined with your bad habits. And at a certain point, you just want to change. And one of the benefits of renting, there are not many benefits of renting. Renting sucks because you just give your money away and you're not retaining it in a larger, investment that you hold on to in the future and enjoy in the future. But one of the good things about renting is that you can just fuck off and you can get a little bit of variety in your life. No, I'm not blaming the house on my flaws. I'm not doing that at all. I'm taking extra care to not do that. But what I'm saying is that sometimes it's a valuable tactic to use a change of space to help shake yourself out of some bad habits. The bad habits are my fault. I take full responsibility for them. But when they become intertwined with a physical location, a physical space, it creates a little bit of a tax on being able to change it. Like, it's a little bit harder to change if you do the same thing every day in a certain space, you know, your habits, your mental triggers get, you know, the bad habits get associated with the space. So it's like when I walk in this particular door, when I walk in this particular door and I see those umbrellas right there and these jackets right there, it triggers certain patterns in my head and in my body that make it just more, you know, easy to do lazy shit that I would rather, you know, unlearn. And when you change all of the environmental triggers, it gives you a relatively clean slate in which it's easier to rewire some of your habits. That's all I'm saying. So no, all of my bad habits are mine, but basically, we've been here for 3 years, and we just want some fucking change, all right? So don't talk back to me! Sorry that disagreeableness is coming out there a little bit. Deep breath, Justin. Say my mantra. What's my mantra? I need a mantra. So Alice Farmer sent me a link. I'm gonna look at that in just a minute. Bear with me. But actually, I want to stay on this current topic just a little bit more. All right. Because I want to reflect on this. I want to kind of record for posterity and for you all a little bit about this house, and I want to tell you a little bit more about my bad habits that I'm trying to work on, and that I will hopefully work on. You know, I work on them every day, even in this house, but I will work on them especially with the new house. Basically, I want to share with you my agenda and my goals for moving into the new flat, and I'll tell you a little bit about the new flat. One thing is that the new flat, it's much bigger, much more space. I mean, not much bigger, but substantially, non-trivially, more space. And I'm very happy about that. So, one thing is, we never really took that much time to make this place, like, beautiful at all. We didn't really do anything. It has these shit-colored, vomit-colored walls. This ugly beige. And, you know, we could have painted, for instance. We could have done a nice little accent wall. Or two, even. Make the place nice, you know? But we didn't. We didn't. Why? Well, because I'm lazy. And I'm complacent. So, for instance, that's just one little thing I've learned here. We were here for 3 years. It would have been totally worth it to paint a fucking wall. One fucking wall we could have painted. Some kind of beautiful color. You can usually paint if you assure them that you'll paint it back. They're usually cool with it. And we actually did get permission to paint. We could have painted, but we didn't because we're lazy. So, in the new flat, one thing I want to do is paint a goddamn fucking wall. At least one. I think a royal blue would be nice. I'm into royal colors. I'm becoming very monarchical. Maybe I like colors that are august. Maybe dark purple or royal blue or gold. I want to do some walls of colors like that, maybe, or one of those colors. This place, oh, hang on. This place, just bland vomit color. By the way, folks, I did not clean up anything. So this is, you are seeing how I actually live. I did not prepare anything to look good for the stream. We leave our shit lying around. Look at these bags. That's my bag on the bottom right, and my wife's bag on the top left. We just leave shit lying around. It's shameful. We should be absolutely ashamed of ourselves. If you look at the table, We have this lovely table that lets you see books. But there's shit all over the table. You can't even see the goddamn books. And then you look at the books, and even the books are all on top of each other. They're not even good books. Some of them are. There's a package, computer, a glass. My God, there's 3 things to drink on this freaking table. It's immature. It's not good. Got my notes for the stream. By the way, when are you gonna fucking call me? Someone fucking call me. We have these candles. Look at these candles. They used to be beautiful. Now they're just charred black. But they're still sitting here. How depressing. And oh my God. These flowers are dead. Do you see this? What does that represent? What does that say about us? We leave shit all over the place. This is what I want to fix. I want to, like, be conscious about the things I put in my flat and that I don't put in my flat. And God damn it, if I have flowers on the table, I want them to be alive. And when they die, I should freaking get rid of them. Let's look at other stuff. I'm gonna show you the inner recesses of my fucking soul through the lens of my house. Okay? We have these bikes that don't even fucking fit in the goddamn house. That's why we have these cardboard boxes so they don't get the wall all dirty. And then they brush up against the couch and make it all dirty. Alright, look at all this junk on top of the bookcase. Very bad feng shui. The feng shui is shameful. This table. Okay, look at this. This was supposed to be our kitchen table, folks. It's not a kitchen table. It's a plant holder. It's an oversized plant holder, goddammit. My house is not dirty. It's not dirty. We clean it. It's that it's disorganized. And it's just not well thought out. And it's not that functional. It's fine. But it's just, we don't put that much care into it. Because we're still fairly lazy, immature, little shits, basically. So, look, I'll give you the view, the whole place. No. Also, by the way, we're moving, so things are kind of extra disorganized because we have boxes in the corner. We got, everything's out and about because we're like moving shit. So keep that in mind. So yeah, basically, and then I don't think I've ever given you a full tour. It's very small. It's just this space. This is the kitchen, and the living room and the dining room. It's tiny. We have clothes rack and bathroom. That's it on this space. And then it just goes upstairs to 2 tiny rooms. You can kind of see them. So, basically, folks, we're moving into a new flat, and it's going to be more spacious. It's also going to be more ghetto. Inside is nice, but the street that it's on is a little bit more ghetto. Currently, the thing is, we live on this, fairly cute little, kind of fashionable street, and that's why we pay too much for what is a pretty basic tiny kind of shit flat. So I'm gonna be streaming the whole process of moving into the new house. Well, I mean, not the whole process because it'll be boring, but I'm gonna you're gonna see the new flat. You're gonna see us moving in. You're gonna be a part of it. All right. So that's going to happen on September 12th. It's already sorted. We're going to be moving in on September 12th and then kind of transitioning for 3 days while we clean up this place. All right. I got a little manic there. I need to calm down. I need a mantra. What's my mantra? What have I missed? Alright, someone fucking call me already. I set up a call-in number at your request. This was in high demand. So let's hang out. Let's talk. What else? I have some other notes, some other things to talk about. Oh yeah, right. Now I'll do that. Now I'll do Alice's bit. Let's see. What book is on my chest? Yeah, Fang Nomada. No, it's just a book. It's any book. It's the Platonic book. How about that? Alright. How should I do this? Whatever, I'm a little out of frame, but it's all good. Alright. I'm looking at the link that Alice sent me. I will post it. By the way, for those of you who have just joined recently, I recently crossed the 1,000 subscriber threshold. So, major milestone, people. I'm shooting rapidly to the ranks of PewDiePie, H3H3, Joe Rogan. I'm skyrocketing to the top of YouTube, and it's all because of your support. So, thank you very much. I'm trying to find this. Okay. So, Alice Farmer sent me a link that she wants me to respond to. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what's going on here. So, sorry, this is, whatever this will do. I'm gonna post the link in the chat. You can all watch this if you want with me. I'm going to respond to it. I'm just gonna watch it and you'll see my reaction. Connect your speaker to your laptop. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I think. No, I think because then I would have to disconnect, and I still want to be able to accept phone calls. By the way, call me if you want to call in. I'll stop yelling. I'll be nice if you call in. I'll be so sweet. Someone else can call in. I'm only yelling because no one's calling in. I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm and probably die on this fucking live stream if you don't call in. Somebody. But as soon as you call in, I'll switch to being extremely nice and loving. All right, I'm gonna blast. Oh shit. I'm gonna blast the volume on here, Alice. It'll have to do. No, it's a Chicago number, so it wouldn't be that expensive. If you're in the Midwest, it probably wouldn't be expensive at all. If enough people do it, I'll get a free 1-800 number. Oh, you live in Australia. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Probably be expensive. Fine. All right, so we're gonna watch this thing that Alice sent. All right, I posted the link. If you want to watch it with me, you can. So I'm just gonna watch it. Here goes. Got my volume up. Alright, it's called Baby Johnny Johnny. Yes, Papa Dance. Sing and Dance. Doo-doo song. 3D animation songs. Okay? Let's see what's going on here. It's 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
Johnny, 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 yes, Papa. Eating, eating sugar. No, no,
Okay, my first thought is this is almost certainly made with AI. That is what I think is going on here. It's very simple. It's got only a small number of words. It looks like this could be algorithmically generated. That's my thought. My first thought. So far, I like the music. Makes me kind of want to dance a little bit. No, no, pop, pop.
Open your mouth.
Why is this little girl's head so big? That's the question I want to know. Is it from eating too much sugar, or like, it's very strange. I don't know. It's kind of worrying. I'm worried about this little girl. Is it even a girl? I feel like she's kind of feminized, but it's not. I guess her gender, the baby's gender, is not super clear. It's a guy. Yeah. See, that's interesting. For some reason, I feel like this baby is presenting as female.
Johnny,
Oh yeah, duh, Johnny. Okay, I just thought of that.
Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa. Eating, eating.
Are you hung? My God, what the hell do you mean by that? Am I being sexually harassed in my own live stream? Is lollipop sexual innuendo? Is that what's going on here? Is this some sort of like pedophile propaganda? Okay, so it's anorexic propaganda also. So basically, this is the story of a pedophiliac father who's imposing eating disorders on their gender ambiguous child named Johnny. Is that what's going on here? Is that what you're sharing with me? Oh shit, I just realized I hope I don't get a copyright strike for this. Oh no, my application's under review. I might not get monetized. Shit. No, I'm sure it'll be fine. People are hearing me from out the window and they're like, what the fuck? This guy raving about. Okay, interesting. Alice, is this what you do in your free time? Is this the kind of music that you like? Is that why you're sharing this with me? Alright, what else is going on? Johnny has a sibling that is an anthropomorphic refrigerator. Okay. Oh, my wife's coming home. She's gonna come in now. I'm gonna turn the camera on her. When she comes in. Should we spy on her? She's up. There she is, talking to her friend. It's okay, Bigu. I'm not gonna get naked. This is safe for work. Is this weird that I'm filming us. I'm gonna turn on the song.
Hi.
What's up? Have you ever heard Johnny? Johnny, yes.
Are you talking to me?
How are you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're. I'm good.
You're
How
on
are
Candid Camera.
Nice.
Have you ever heard of Johnny?
No. This is gonna be like one of those
Do you wanna
fucked up
watch it with me?
YouTube things.
Do you want to watch it?
Sure.
You can do a reaction with me.
This is gonna be one of those fucked up YouTube things, isn't it? I have seen this.
This specific one? Alright, come sit and do a reaction with me.
Okay.
I have a call-in system where people can call in, but no one's doing it.
I have seen this. Yeah. Yep, I've seen this.
So our job is just to watch it and react.
There's a gif of Michelle Obama where she's like getting down to a song, and I feel like that's my reaction.
You feel like this is Michelle Obama mood?
Has your wife seen the one where Johnny has a refrigerator sibling?
Have you seen that one?
No.
What?
I've only seen this one of the baby Johnnies.
And what's your view of it? Yes, we have a call. This is awesome. This is so chaotic. Where's my phone?
It's there.
Here we go. Check this out. All right, this is gonna be awesome. Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
All right, hang on. I gotta get you on the.
I can't hear you on the. I had to take off my headphones.
I know. Hang on.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hang on. I gotta get you on the speaker so everyone can hear you. This is so chaotic. Got my wife here now. This is awesome. Hang on, everyone. All right, we're doing this. So. All right.
I'm sorry you guys can't see me. But
No.
I can see you.
No, it's okay.
That's really creepy.
I'm just trying to get you. I'm trying to get your voice.
Sure.
1 second. Sorry, this is not.
Oh, were you watching the video on your phone?
No, we were watching it on a computer.
Okay. All right. All right. Now everyone's gonna be able to hear you well. All right. This
I
is.
sound like lesbian.
All right. So who am I speaking with, or do you want to use your name?
Oh,
or
this
no?
is Tim. This is Tim.
Tim. All right, Tim. What's going on, dude? What's up today?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm at work right now, so I gotta be quiet.
Terrible
But-
worker.
But I'm moving next week too.
Oh, cool.
And so I wanted to tell you guys you should get rid of that coffee table
Why?
because it's good to have like a lot of space. Your apartment looks really cramped.
It is.
Yeah, but that's.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a bigger place though, so we might be able to handle the coffee table.
Okay, just think about it, because now's the time. You could just put in the alley or whatever,
Where
and
do you
like
rest
all
your
that
drinks?
all that space.
What do you do with your drinks when you're sitting on the couch if you don't have a coffee table?
Just put them on like with the other stuff. We have like speakers, and like a bookshelf or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
You have a bookshelf in front of your couch?
Well, like to the side. I just sit on one side.
Okay.
Where?
Yeah,
Do
that looks cool.
Problem, there are two of us.
what do you do for work? What kind of job are you working at right now?
I'm in a oh man, I shouldn't be telling you this. I'm in a social science research call center. In a call center, but I'm not on the phone.
That's cool that you work at a call center and you're calling into a YouTube show.
Yeah, I know. It is cool. It's a Saturday though, so like I can get away with shit on Saturdays.
That's cool.
You know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Where are you moving to?
Oh, like a half mile down the street.
Is it
Into
better?
a better place.
How's
A
it?
bigger, better place.
Sweet.
Do you have roommates?
Yeah, I got a roommate, and we're gonna have a cat.
Cool. I would love it.
Yeah.
Can you hang on 1 second, Tim? Just wait 1 second.
Yeah.
All right.
Telling la 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 la, telling lies.
No, no. No, no.
What do you think of that song?
They're talking about eating doo-doo. That's crazy.
Is that what the subtext is? Eating doo-doo?
No.
They said, yeah, he said it. The dad said you're eating doo-doo.
Really? I missed that.
Yeah, you gotta listen. You gotta listen carefully.
Whoa.
So, by the way, Tim, you got a few people in the chat who disagreed with you. They like our coffee table.
Eating sugar.
And they think that we should keep it. So you have a minority opinion, but I appreciate it. We'll think about it.
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna think about it for
Yeah,
sure.
think about it.
I'm not gonna think about it.
Like,
I reject it.
you can like do yoga in your living room.
But we are gonna be able to do yoga in our third bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I like coffee tables.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. No, Tim, your input is much appreciated. Arya is acting tough, but we're gonna think about it. We're gonna let it digest. Maybe we don't
Just
need
put it into consideration.
Maybe we don't need a coffee table in our lives.
And you're gonna. I think you should get a blue wall. You mentioned that. That's good.
Yeah, Arya's surprised to hear that I'm already planning the colors. She hasn't even heard about any of this. So you just blew up my spot. You just informed my wife that I'm developing designs without her.
Arya, blue is like good for your psyche. It's like self mind control, self psyops on your own house.
Nice.
I was saying on the stream that I want to do a wall like royal blue, or like I was saying that I like august colors, like royal colors. So like royal blue or like a dark.
He likes jewel tones.
Yeah, I like royal blue. I like dark.
Oh yeah.
I like dark purple, and like gold and stuff. Arya, what was the song that What was the song we were listening to last night?
Oh, why you always lying?
Do you guys know that song? It's really good. I'm afraid that I'm going to get.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna hang up.
All right,
hang up, guys.
Thanks for calling, Tim. It's been fun. I really appreciate it.
Have a good day at work.
Until next time.
All right.
Later,
Peace out,
dude.
bro.
Do you guys know the song "Why You Always Lie"? I'll play it. I feel like I'm gonna get copyright strikes, but whatever, it's fine.
Oh my god. Why you fucking lying?
If you Google "Why You Always Lying," here's what you'll get.
They know this.
Did you all know this?
You gotta fast forward a bit because it's like an intro.
Dude, you do not need the intro.
Here we go.
I see you. That's your BMW? That's your girl? Golly. Okay, I see you. But I just want to know one thing. You ready? Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You making it hard for me. Every time you tell me something, I figure that you're lying. Ooh, it's almost like faking. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know
Sorry, just
you're lying.
putting out.
But you sound excited, and you know that I know.
All right, I'll tell you my favorite part.
Oh, girl. Cue the rain. I got you. The rain, yeah.
What I love is the part of the song when he's like, what is it? He's like, my god. I'm gonna zoom in on it and we'll play it a bunch of times.
Oh. You gotta go back more.
Yeah, I know you're
You gotta go back more.
Here
we go.
That's the best part. We're gonna play it a few times.
No. Okay, we don't have to
My god. Stop fucking lying.
I know, these memes are so old. I showed Justin this last night.
Dude, I don't care how old it is. If it's a good meme, it's timeless. Look, I live under a rock. I hear about memes like, 4 years late. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Did I miss anything in the chat while I was focusing on the video?
No.
Yeah, so this is one
Alice
of
Farmer says, Justin, get up to date with the memes.
Well, I need your help, Alice. I need you all to keep me up to speed on things. Who would win in a fight, Moldbug or Nick Land? I'm not speculating on that. Such speculations are beneath me. Oh, while I have you here, finally, someone asked me on the stream previously about the Avital Ronell case, and I gave a kind of mumbling answer because I don't know that much about it. But I mentioned to them how you you read a lot about it and you're up on it. Do you want to give any takes?
I don't think I have any hot takes. I think all of the takes, there have been a few very hot takes, and I think I want to keep those steaming. I want to keep those takes steaming. I don't need to add to the pile of hot takes.
She's very modest. She knows much more about the case than I do, but see,
I have been reading about it. I have been reading about it.
See, some people are wise and they know not to pontificate, and other people are stupid and will talk about anything. And I'm in the latter camp, and Ari's in the former camp.
Well, no, I was very interested in it because I think lots of young women my age, basically, if you went to like a liberal arts college, you learned Gayatri Spivak and Judith Butler, and I think you're kind of reaching a point where it's like, kill your idols, you know? That's what this showed me.
All right, Nick, what was your Foucault question? I'll find it. Sorry, I might have missed it.
Judy Butler, yeah, she's fucked up. What she said was fucked up.
I don't get Aria on the stream very often, so does anyone have any spicy questions for Aria and I?
I'm not going to answer a spicy question.
Well, I'm just, inviting.
Was he a pedo?
If anyone has any questions for us about our relationship, now would be a good time.
Yeah, right.
All right, Nick, I can't find your damn question. Copy and paste it again. What is your question about Foucault? Someone said this is a peek into the life of some 30-year-old boomers. We're not boomers. We're millennials.
Also, I'm not in my 30s.
So Nick asked if he's a nonce.
I've never heard anyone use the word nonce. At least not young people. Is Foucault a nonce?
What is a nonce?
It's like a isn't it kind of like,
is it a pedo?
Or isn't it like a pansy kind of?
Is it a pedo?
I've never heard anyone use that word.
Oh, they were asking about
nonce means pedo.
Oh, okay. So I was right.
Is Foucault a pedo?
Oh yeah. So wasn't there a thing about you told me about this, that like Foucault and Deleuze signed something like in defense of pedos? Was I not talking to you about that?
No.
I don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna actually not pontificate. But apparently, yeah, like the radical lefties at that time, apparently like a bunch of them supported some sort of like petition to basically I forget what it was, but it was something about like age of consent or whatever. Jesus. I mean, I don't know if it's bad or not. Like, I think Foucault and Deleuze were pretty smart, so whatever they signed on to probably wasn't that bad, but I don't really know.
They signed a letter against raising the age of consent in France. Well, I guess I would want to know what the age was and what it was going to be raised to. But
yeah, same. I don't know.
Those are significant to the story.
I am wearing some clothes. I'm wearing shorts. He wasn't a pedo. I don't know if he was a pedo.
He was like into BDSM, but he wasn't a pedo.
Foucault was gay. Yeah. Not therefore pedo. I don't think that makes you a pedo.
No.
So, okay, if someone knows about the petition, call me and tell us about it. And that way we can talk about it. Someone who's more informed.
No.
The number is in the chat. How dare you ask my wife such questions? This is a Christian...
You just invited spicy.
This is a Christian program.
You just invited spicy questions.
Look, this is Christian programming, okay? My big plan is to get sponsored by, like, mega large, like, Christian mega churches. That's how I'm going to get mad money. Alice is going to call. Yes. We need someone to tell us about how Foucault and Deleuze were pedos. Or if they were.
Spicy question incoming.
All right, Armenian Chica.
What's the Mormon question?
Yeah, what is the Mormon question? Like, what should we do about Mormons?
Mormons believe some wild shit. Foucault was definitely pedo.
I think most of our elected representatives are pedophiles, probably. That's just an inference. I don't know. I'm kind of Alex Jones level on that. I tend to think like, I think like the Clintons probably killed someone. Pizzagate might be real. I don't know. No. I'm not a Pizzagate believer. I don't believe in any particular like Alex Jones conspiracy, but I do basically think that establishment intellectuals underestimate the probability of things like systematic pedophile rings and like the Clinton body count.
I did hear about that, Oswald. They don't want to be called the Mormon Church anymore.
What do they want to be called?
The Church of the Latter-day Saints.
Oh.
So basically, one thing that's very odd about the Mormon Church is that their beliefs are constantly open to new prophecies and new prophets. So like, there have been multiple prophets since like the 1800s that have fundamentally changed their like core beliefs. That's very odd.
Okay, then I'm the next coming of Christ in the Mormon. I'm Joseph Smith's like third cousin once removed.
Justin Smith.
How about that? By the way, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm not actually the second coming of Christ. Sorry.
Justin Smith.
I was just kidding. I'm typing the number again for anyone who wants to call in. Because clearly I've run out of things to talk about, so I'm running on you guys now.
Thought that God could be encountered as an object within experience. I don't think I know what that means.
I don't know. Ooh, girl. What's the line that I like again? I keep forgetting it. Yitzhak, give me a call. I just typed the number in. I'll take that question any day. Are accelerationism and natalism consistent? Hell yeah, they are. Accelerate the babies. I think having as many babies as you possibly can is a very accelerationist move. All right, too many comments. This is the most chaotic stream I've ever done. I got speaker phones. I got Wi-Fi, multiple Wi-Fi connections on multiple devices. I got a wife to manage. Alice, when are you calling in?
He asked if we're gonna have kids.
Are we gonna have kids?
Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
When?
I don't know.
We think we want to, but we're too scared.
How many children will you guys have? We need a number. You need a number.
It's hard to know. Alice, you have to press the plus sign first, I think. You hold down, for me on iPhone, that's you hold down the 0 until it makes a plus sign. I only just learned that too.
I either have 1 or 4 plus. I kind of feel that. Kind of understand. The problem is that being pregnant is so costly, and so probably just 1. So costly for me.
No, I think that's wrong.
Because
having
having 5 children means being pregnant for 5 fucking years.
Okay, my main reason for wanting more than 1 kid, ideally I would only want 1 kid, but if, God forbid, they died or something like that, or if they were just a fuck up, I would want to have another one to, like, increase the probability of at least 1 succeeding. That's all. I don't mean to be, like, is that cold? Is that...
Definitely.
I mean, I think, well, think about it this way. No, I think it's a reasonable way to think about it. Like, if you have 1 kid, and then God forbid, there's some kind of terrible accident and they die or something like that, God forbid, you're going to be much more devastated than if you also had 2 other healthy, happy kids to live, you know?
I wonder, I don't know if you can quantify the devastation of child loss like that. Like, not having any children versus... Yeah, I wonder. I don't know.
That's a good point about the patchwork. Like, once we have communism at full scale, then there's no reason to not have more kids. And we probably would want more kids to do labor. But no, that's a serious... I wasn't just being funny for the stream. I do really think that. Like, I would be scared to have only 1 kid, because if anything happened to them, we'd be devastated. So yeah, we want to have kids, but I don't know if we don't really know what we're doing with that. Like, we both say we want to, but we're not doing it. We're not, like, actively trying to do it. So why are we not actively trying to do it?
Because we don't know if we want them yet.
Yeah, we don't know if we want them yet. I think I'm just nervous. I don't know about you, but...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you wait much longer, time's up. That's true. But that's the good thing about having a relatively younger wife. She's got some time. Not in a rush.
Yeah, no rush.
but kind of in a rush a little bit. We'll work it out off the live stream, and we'll let you know. Your kid won't get typhoid. At the worst, they'll become addicted to gaming. Dude, I'm not gonna let my kid become addicted to gaming. No way. I'll send him to military boot camp. We lost our child to Fortnite. All right. How was your hangout with Christine?
It's good.
Good.
Very good. Okay.
Any other questions, comments? We've been going for a while. Kind of. Oh shit! It's 90 minutes already. Hey, be nice. I'm ignoring rude comments. Yes, here we go. Hello. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Who am I speaking with?
Okay, so are we going to talk this Foucault AC consent thing?
Is this Alice?
Yeah, it's Alice.
Hi, Alice.
Hey.
All right. Inform us.
Okay, so from my minimal knowledge of reading this, like, so what they did was they did like some radio broadcast. So essentially, like, it wasn't just an age consent law thing. It also meant that like teachers weren't allowed to like give students information about like contraception and stuff like that, and they could essentially be jailed by that. But also there was this whole thing that like Foucault essentially said we would like create a society of danger. So you have this sort of like transcendental notion of the enemy to society, which is then like a danger to whatever is functioning at that point in time.
Whoa. Okay. Wait. So you're saying Foucault and Deleuze supported all that?
Here's the thing, like, because like I know that Deleuze like signed the petition and all, but I think it's more of like this overarching law thing instead of, because it wasn't just like an age consent law thing.
Okay. So okay, interesting. So thanks for filling in some details there. And so what's your take on it? Like, does this change your view of Deleuze and Foucault, or how do you interpret it?
Not really. It doesn't really change my like view on Deleuze and Foucault, because like there's also the thing with like age consent stuff. It like puts a specific age in.
Oh, Alice dropped out, but
We lost Alice.
that's okay. She was in the middle of making what sounded like an interesting point. Maybe she could type it, or she'll just call back.
Alice, come back.
All right, that was good. If anyone else wants to call in, you're more than welcome to.
It hung up.
Yeah, it wasn't us. I don't know.
Someone doesn't want us speaking.
Oh yeah, shit. It was probably the same people who took Alex Jones off Livestream, off like YouTube.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're getting very, very close to uncovering the mass pedophile conspiracy that links the U.S. government to Deleuze and Foucault. And, the powers that be, they're watching us. They know we're getting closer. And that's why they have to cut off our phone calls. That's why they have to cut off our phone calls.
You got into trouble, Alice?
So Alice got accused of being a pedo apologist, I guess it's the idea that we're supposed to be like morally outraged that Foucault and Deleuze supported this like petition or law or whatever. Is that the idea? Is that the dominant take? And if you don't think that, if you're unfazed by that like Alice is, then you're problematic. Okay. Folks, I only just realized we're going on 90 minutes. I'm starting to get tired. I can tell by Arya's body language. She's trying to get out of it. She's trying to get out of this.
Well, I'm trying to find a good time to be like, all right, see you folks later.
Thank you for participating in this.
You're welcome.
I'm always trying to get you to join me, and you never want to.
I know.
So the only way I get her on the stream is if I'm already in the middle of a stream and she walks into the room. Then I can snag her and get her to participate.
Yep. Otherwise, I don't do it.
Okay, so Alice says, before she was so rudely interrupted by the powers that be that cut her off, essentially, age of consent puts a cutoff age as to when a child supposedly has the ability to consent. Thing is that we cannot actually know when a person is able to consent. I agree with that. Nick thinks it's good to have it at 18 just to be safe. Yeah, pedophilia is bad, obviously, but I agree that some people are more mature. Like there are 14-year-olds probably that are more mature than some 19-year-olds. For sure, that exists. I mean, so I'm not saying that the law. I don't know what the right law should be. Like I don't know what the optimal way to deal with this variance is in law, but it seems obvious that there's no one exact cutoff. So, yeah, I would like to know more details about what exactly Foucault and Deleuze signed in support of before I made judgments about him. Yeah, I mean, I think ideally there would be a case-by-case basis, but usually with the law, you can't really, there needs to be some sort of principle or standard for it to be codified in law. But it would be cool maybe if there was like some sort of way to objectively test maturity and independence of mind. Like if we had really good like psychological tests or behavioral tests, with a high degree of reliability, we could just give someone a measure of like, are they able to consent? Do they have the criteria, whatever we decide those to be? Like, is this person capable of mature, independent consent? And then we just apply that test on a case by case basis. And if you pass that test, then you're allowed to, have sex with older people. I guess I don't know. Yeah, because having sex with someone your own age when you're not emotionally mature to consent can be just as damaging. Definitely. I think it should be illegal for kids under like 16 to even have sex with each other. Like if a 13-year-old whips his dick out in front of like another 13-year-old, I think he should go to jail.
Baby jail.
Baby jail, yeah, where it's very nice and they have like lots of pillows and stuffed animals and stuff, and they're treated very well and they're given a lot of time to play.
But still jail.
But still draconian social control of that. No, I'm just kidding.
Chris Brown had sex at 8. Is that true?
It wouldn't surprise me. That would help to explain why he's so fucked up as an adult. Yeah, I mean, I think in every way having sexual.
Yeah, that's definitely rape.
Having sexual experiences when you're too young is bad in every way, I think. All right, good debate here between Nick and Alice. All right, I'm out of steam, folks. It's been 97 goddamn minutes. I have to move house in a week. Oh, by the way, we're going to Italy for a few days for a holiday. So,
for a week.
Yeah, whole week. This is like our first proper adult vacation.
We went to Norway last year.
Yeah, but for like 3 days, which is fine. But
4 days.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm not selling it short. But this is our first time going on vacation, like adults, for a week somewhere. So we're going on Monday. So I might be kind of offline. I might not be totally offline. I might, for fun, do some streams or whatever here and there, but no promises. I want to kind of let myself do nothing if I want to do nothing for a week, or else maybe do some stuff. So, but don't feel bad for bringing up a weird topic. It's all good.
About incels.
When I get back from our little holiday, it's gonna be
incels.
It's gonna be next level Justin Murphy internet game. I'm gonna be up in my game in a few different ways. You'll see what I mean when I get back. But I'm gonna get a little bit of a break, a little bit of a recharge, and then from middle of September over the next year, gonna bring this internet game to a whole nother level. As I said, I'm shooting straight to the top. PewDiePie, H3, Joe Rogan, I'm coming for you, motherfuckers. I mean, I'm already at 1,000 subscriptions. Like, I'll be at that level in no time.
But first, we're going to Italy.
And yeah, when I get back, we're gonna keep doing this. So, thank you, Free. You've told me that 2 times now that I'm better at live streaming than writing. Well, you know what?
Fuck you.
If you don't have anything nice to say, well, I guess that is a nice thing to say because you're being a little awkward about it. You could be a little nicer in the way you choose your words there. But really, what you're trying to say is that you like my live streaming, which is good. You could have just left it at that. You didn't need to make the comparison.
He wanted to make me laugh.
Are you trying to flirt with my wife? I'm gonna ban you. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. You know what? Maybe I am better at live streaming than writing. Maybe that's the case. If that's the case, fuck it. I'll just be the fucking goddamn Friedrich Nietzsche of live streaming. If Nietzsche was alive today, he'd probably be a live streamer. He wouldn't waste his time with all this academic writing bullshit. He would just fire up the live stream, talk some sweet ass aphorisms, and then like have a syphilitic meltdown probably. And it would
Fortnite.
be, and it'd be really good. Yeah, Nietzsche would play Fortnite probably. Antoine likes my writing. Thank you. Anyway, like I said, I don't really care. The medium means nothing to me. McLuhan said the medium is the message. He was wrong.
Wrong.
Medium is just a medium. Doesn't fucking matter. You get your message straight off the medium. You get your message straight up here. Eddie Murphy meme. Here. Okay. You get your ideas straight, and then you fucking write them down. You speak them out. You live stream that shit. You make documentaries about Bronze Age pervert. You exude it in your behavior, even. The way you carry yourself on the street is an expression of your deepest ideas. It's all integrated. We are moving towards a now globally integrated planetary techno-commercium in which all intellectual production is consistent with and on a continuum with economic and material production in one unified, smooth space, okay? That's what we're doing. That's what this is all about. I don't care if you like my live streams better than my writing. I don't care if you like my writing better than my live streams. I don't care if you like my wife better than me. It doesn't matter.
Except for that last bit. Definitely matters. Good judgment. Just kidding.
Would you like to ever be invited back on my live stream?
I'm being the Ela.
Oh yeah, we're basically Ethan and Ela Klein. They're our role models, basically. That's what we're doing.
Wife better than you.
Hey, I need to keep my my listeners in line.
Is your wife single? That's a good one. That made me chuckle. All right, I'm getting out of here for show.
Thank you for giving compliments to my wife, though, because I think that will make this more enjoyable for her, and that will allow me to bring her on here more. I'm always trying to get her to do live streams with me, but she never will.
I actually respond really well to negging, so if you guys can just keep telling me to shave my arms, that would make me feel really good. It would make me feel bad, but good.
Do you really
but
respond
bad,
well to negging?
But good.
Do you really respond well to negging?
I love it.
Are you sure you want to invite that? You might.
No!
I don't know if you want to invite negging.
No! I'm just kidding. Don't neg me. I'm actually really...
you asked for it.
I'm actually really sensitive.
You just made a big mistake then. No, but I'm glad that people... everyone in the chat is officially dating Justin's wife. I'm glad that... no, we're not like polyamorous, like sexually liberal degenerates. We have a monogamous marriage. Thank you very much.
We do.
And if you try to fuck with it, I'll kick your fucking ass. Because I'm the alpha male here, bitch.
All right, I'm leaving.
But yeah, no, I'm glad that people said nice things to you, because that will give you positive reinforcement. And soon Arya's going to want to be getting on the stream all the time to get those compliments. She's going to want to get that ego-boosting love from people like Alice trying to date my wife from Australia. Monogamy is not a capitalist scam. Monogamy is the basis for the only conceivable anti-capitalist resistance, I would say. Any legitimate anti-capitalism almost has to be based on monogamy, because monogamy is the basic structural foundation of meaningful, it's the only real meaningful basis from which people can resist significantly, powerful forces. You're never going to resist capitalism on some sort of like degenerate, wishy-washy, diffuse, unstable, polyamorous basis. You need strong foundations if you want to resist anything. Okay, I'm out of steam, folks. I can't even form sentences anymore. Arya's trying to get out of here, so I'm going to let her go. And I'm also going to wrap this up myself. So in the coming weeks, like I said, I'm going to take a break. I might not be on the stream very much in the next week. But then when I get back, we're moving house, and it's going to be sweet. It's going to be a nicer place. And I'm hopefully going to... Oh,
fuck.
Easy. Ari's bringing the house down.
Shit. Sorry, folks.
We are going to... I'm going to set up a nice little stream setup in the new house. I don't know exactly how it's going to look or work, but I'm going to have some sort of, like, consistent place in the house where it like looks good and is functional and all set up. And yeah, we're gonna bring this stream to the next level, baby. It's gonna be good. You just wait and see. Right now, this is a DIY, you know, pretty haphazard affair. As you know, I have a fair number of technical snags here and there. It's not perfect. I understand that. But soon, now that I'm at the 1,000 subscriber threshold, now we're bringing it to the next level. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for calling in. I would say the call-in function has been a massive success. It's been very fun. Not a lot of take-up yet, but we got like 3 or 4 call-ins. That was pretty good. So since there's interest, I think probably I'll eventually get like a 1-800 number, so it'll be free for people to call. I just have to figure out how to do that. It's not that hard, but I'll have to pay for it. So I'll get that sorted eventually. Okay, some people didn't like the call-in part, but I enjoyed it, so thank you very much. So yeah, we'll do more call-ins and stuff like that, and we're gonna set it up real legit. And also, when I move into the new house, I'll do some live streams of the new place, so you know you're gonna be with me through it all. You can call in. We can talk about Leprechaun movies if you want, if that's what you're into. That's fine. All right, folks. My mental powers are rapidly atrophying. Thank you. It's been fun. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you next time. Later. I'm gonna turn this bitch off.